Buongiorno, cari colleghi, cari lottatori di sambo.
I say it in Italian, because right now we are in this country, the organizer of the European Championship. But that's just one of the events to be discussed today in our official television magazine SAMBO FIAS. In our program today, FIAS President Vasily Shostakov on the outcome of the Sport Accords Convention held in St. Petersburg, and an exclusive interview with the new head of the organization, Marius Wieser. The bronze debut of sambo wrestlers from the Seychelles in Ghana at the African Championship. And what did the strongest judo team do at the sambo seminar in Tokyo? The Latvian sambo's perspectives from the person in charge. Results of the Congress of the European Sambo Federation as seen by its president. The strongest wrestlers of the Island of Freedom determined for the first time. These gates are called Porto Abriano, but usually people call it Porto Milano, the northern entrance to the city of Crema, the current capital of the European Sambo Championship. We will take a stroll through this beautiful town to the next gate, Porto Serio, which is also the name of the local river right by these gates. So we will enjoy the local sights, then to the press conference, and of course we'll visit the championship itself. Let's go. The city is located in the north of Italy, about 50 kilometers from Milan. History of Crema is closely associated with the invasion of Italy by the tribe of Lombards in the 6th century. The Lombards gave the city its name. Crem means little hill in their language, and the city is built on the hill. There are other theories of city's origins, claiming Crema was first founded in the Celtic period. But anyone interested enough can try to determine it for himself. What strikes immediately is the number of cyclists of all ages. Obviously, this mode of transport is the most convenient out here. People get to work, make their shopping, walk their dogs and children without leaving the bicycles. Crema is a typical European city, an open-air museum. This is the stone witness to the golden age of the city, when it was a part of the Venetian Republic. And this is the local landmark, this magnificent church of Santa Maria della Croce with a round dome. But the heart of Crema is a central area with a colonnade of the Palace Comunale, where the mayor's office and the city government are located. The main entrance is decorated with a commemorative tablet with the name of Italian national hero Giuseppe Garibaldi. His military exploits are immortalized in the name of the aircraft carrier, the current flagship of the Italian Navy. Opposite the palace stands the cathedral, built over 400 years ago, a striking example of Lombard Gothic style. Our brief excursion has taken us to the press conference, anticipating the main goal of our Italian journey, namely the European Sambo Championship. 4 years ago, this competition was held in Milan. This time, sambo wrestlers from 29 old world countries came to Crema. Local journalists were told about the special features of samba, its history and traditions, how will the competition be held, and about the prospects of Italian wrestlers. It is very important for the Italian team to win some medals. It would make us very happy, especially for the Italian children and youngsters who will attend the event to see our national heroes. Crema is a very athletic region. We do love sports here. We have great sporting traditions, and some years back we also got the chance to hold sporting events. People will come to see it. I think sambo wrestling will be especially interesting for young people who may decide to practice it later. In the course of 3 days at the Ofonengo Sports Palace, 27 sets of awards will find their owners, 9 in each of the 3 wrestling styles. We're delighted by the atmosphere of the hall, especially by the local fans, a lot of them children. Actually, their presence is not an accident. They are studying samba at a local club under the guidance of the president of Italian Samba, Robert Ferraris. After the intense morning bouts, time for the finals. And sensation. In the up to 48 kilograms category, a totally unexpected victory by a debutant, Galia Zakhareva. The 17-year-old Bulgarian bested in the finals the two-time world champion from Russia, Elena Bondreva.
I'm so small. I'm 95 years.
I have been practicing wrestling for 5 years, and I'm very happy to have such success, first place. I would like to win at the World Championships also, and at the Universiade.
So big for me.
The next two finals were among men. In the up to 52 kilograms category, the Armenian athlete Tigran Kirokosyan met Vasily Karaulov from Russia. 15 seconds before the end of the fight, Karaulov managed his only throw, which got him the gold medal. The bronze went to Bernhard from Germany and Akhmadov from Belarus. In the combat sambo competition, in the up to 57 kilograms category, the first place went to Bagudinov Ali from Russia. He was consistent and scored 6 points in the course of the fight, and then managed a painful handhold, forcing the Ukrainian Ilya Rudskih to throw in the towel. Among women in the category of up to 60 kilograms, the winner was Ekaterina Prokhorenko from Belarus. The second place went to Anastasia Shenkurenko, Russia. Alena Saiko, Ukraine, and another debutant, Sofia Tsalani from Greece, shared the bronze. Let's listen to Sofia. This is my start in Sambo. I trained especially hard at this, as is my debut. I got better in this style of wrestling and would like to win the World Cup. Another sensation that day was the bronze won by a Finnish team member. For the first time in history of his country, Antti Petteri Rintamaki won the third place at the European Championship in the up to 68 kilograms category. The second bronze went to Ivanov from Bulgaria. Alexander Koksha of Belarus became champion, outplaying the most experienced Russian wrestler Nikita Kletskoy in the final bout. Combat Sambo. In the up to 74 kilograms category, the finalists of the last World Championship in 2012 have met again. This time, a convincing victory for Alexander Panov from Russia, who bested the Belarusian Eduard Muravitsky in all aspects of the fight, both in his punches and wrestling technique. In the women's up to 72 kilograms finals, the gold went to the winner of the last World Cup, Harlampiev's Memorial, Ukrainian Tatiana Savenko. Her opponent, Galina Ambarsumyan, was 2 points ahead of her, but could not hold the advantage and placed second eventually. Bronze went to Tiffania Legal from France and Angela Morozova from Belarus. According to the Italian coaches, the first candidate for the gold medal from their team is Ivan Tomazzetti in the 90 kilograms category. He's a good wrestler, so let's follow his progress to find out if it will work out for him in the end, or not. The Italian was quite confident and beat all his opponents right down to the semi-finals. Unfortunately for the home team, Gasimov from Azerbaijan prevented him from taking gold. Ivan lost, but he didn't break down. But in the fight for bronze, there was no holding him back. Too great was his desire to please the local fans. He laid himself out totally in this battle, but managed to smile at the camera afterwards and even gave us an interview. I'm happy to have this medal, but talking about the semi-finals with the Azerbaijani wrestler, I realized I was very close to success. Painful leg hold is a very effective technique that I pay a lot of attention to. I'm very grateful to the Russian coach Roman Bolotsky for his seminar, and I trained a lot. Pavel Rumyantsov from the Russian team won a clean victory by a painful hand hold of the same Gasimov who had bested the Italian. An interesting situation developed in the team of Azerbaijan. Nazim Mamadov came here to take part in the sports sambo competition in the 100 kilograms category. But his team needed him in combat sambo also. What would come out of it? Let's see. The Azeri was anything but timid. To change his style for the best of the team is not an easy thing, more so if you are forced to fight in combat sambo. There was no sensation. Actually, the fight itself was very short. Nazim missed a punch that knocked him down to the mat. The judge declares knockout. Maxim Futin of the Russian team becomes champion. I am always prepared to fight to the end. You can't hope for the short bout. It's never a certainty. The opponents come well prepared too. The competition is quite serious. It just so happened that I pulled a fast one upon the head. Therefore, the fight went like that. Athletes don't usually laugh after the knockout, but you are laughing. Why? I came here to compete in sports sambo, but for the sake of the team, I decided to test myself in combat sambo. It was a first for me. It's all right, I think. He's certainly stronger, and I'll be the first to say it. I'm happy with the fight, and I'm happy with my coach, the president of the Sambo Federation. Thanks to everyone. What did you tell to Maxim Futin after the fight? I said, you've got a good punch. I thought the train hit me. Upon my word. Bronze medals in this weight went to Bulgarian Stoyanov and to the Frenchman Imad Basudaka. By the way, the black Frenchman was a successful football player before that. I won bronze at the European Championship in Crema. I lost by just 1 point in the semi-finals at the last second. The organization of the tournament is quite good. I played football before, so this is my debut in sambo, and I loved it. Speaking of the French team, we may note that for them this tournament is a success. After 2 days of competition, they got 5 bronze medals. And it looks like they won't stop at that. We will take part in the Universiade and in the World Championship. But the European Championship is also an opportunity for our athletes to get to master's level. We've got the levels system in France, and it is very important in positioning our team in the eyes of our sports ministry, which will in turn affect the position and level of sambo in France.
Et ça permet d'avoir une équipe qui aussi tire vers l'avant et vers le haut le sambo en France.
Laura Fourier attempted to win gold for this team in the category of up to 56 kilograms. She repeatedly attacked and tried hands holds upon Nadezhda Zaitseva from the Russian team, but eventually became the victim of the painful hold herself, the armbar. In the finals, you tried for a painful hold, but lost. Yes, in the final, the Russian athlete was more effective and more professional. I did try to make a painful hold, but I lost control and missed the attack on the left arm. The pain was unbearable, and I had to give up. The bronze in this category went to the Ukrainian athlete Olesya Savchuk and the organizers of the European Championship, Anna Righetti of the Italian national team. And another final fight, which we must show our viewers. Men, sports sambo, 74 kilograms category. Wally Kurzhev, Russia, and Babichuk from Ukraine. The Ukrainian is very strong physically. Babichuk is a past master of painful leg holds, so he's extremely dangerous. But look at the Russian. He's intoxicated by the fight. For Kurzhev, victory is not all important, although he wants to win, but he gets the pleasure from the process itself. He really enjoys wrestling. See for yourself. The fights were quite easy today, as opposed to the World Championship. I felt good and ready, and it turned out well. There was a feeling in the finals that you are really enjoying yourself. Am I right? I just love it. The European Sambo Championship was also the debut for the local medical staff. It seems they didn't expect that much work, but they coped with it as true professionals. Sometimes even overacting. Under the local laws, the slightest injury is a very serious incident, and it sometimes surprises the athletes themselves, like in this case. The mighty German wrestler Björn Bachmann, with a slight face cut, smiles upon the request of the Italian doctors to lie down on the stretcher. I've never seen sambo before. I was not even aware that there is such kind of sport and that they will need our help. It is certainly a physically demanding sport. They even asked me in the emergency room what was going on. Too much work for them. But I like it. I'm quite happy to watch the fights. And I would like to know where this kind of wrestling comes from. From the Soviet Union. Oh, it's great. The first time I actually see this kind of fighting. I'd like to say it's a very entertaining sport, even theatrical one. A lot of power struggle and enough injuries. And I guess we will have a lot of work here. In the end, the German was not able to convince the doctors that he's all right, and was rolled out, cheerfully waving at the camera. Returning to the subject of combat sambo, I want to draw your attention to the final in the lightweight, up to 52 kilograms. In the beginning, the Ukrainian, Chorny, knee hit the Russian and sent him to a knockdown. But his opponent did not lose heart, and after half a minute made a leg throw and rapidly attacked, getting a choke hold which forced the Ukrainian to give up the nearly won medal, the gold one. And yet another sensation of the Italian Championship of Europe. Angela Paim-Kraskovskaya, the leader of Belarusian team in the 64 kilograms category, made it to the finals. It was expected and not at all surprising, but the thing is that after winning almost all titles in sambo and becoming world champion, Angela has still never won the European Championship. But this time, fortune was on her side, and at the end of her career, she has achieved her goal. For me, the European title was really hard to get. It was my 10th European Championship, and I always got silver, so it was even psychologically difficult for me, though my opponent in the semi-finals was much more experienced and strong. But the finals was like a barrier to me. Among the champions spectators, we met our colleague, a leading journalist of Vitartas, Veronika Sovetova, who tries not to miss any major sambo tournaments because it's fun, because it's impossible not to enjoy the event you are seeing now. Moreover, I'm trying to record this with the help of that little gadget, a present from sambo wrestlers, and I'm trying to justify their confidence. And I will show it all to my children, who are also involved in sambo. I have a daughter and a son, Sveta and Danilo. Hi, by the way.
Ты в челночке к нему подпрыгиваешь, он тебе сразу двойку прописывает.
And another important thing that I'd like to tell you. In Italy, one just must try the Italian food. All kinds of pizza, pasta, the wonderful Italian espresso coffee, wine, for those who like it. But I'm a sweet tooth. I love ice cream. Thank you. So, this is where Italian Odyssey ends. We've told you about the European Championship, all the best parts. Well then, what's next? The news. Less than 5 months remains before the second World Martial Arts Games to be held in St. Petersburg. And another significant event was held there, the International Sport Accord Convention, incorporating the IOC session, as well as the Grand Exhibition at the Lenexpo Center, where dozens of sports federations and organizations tried to make the most of this opportunity. The FIAS stand has attracted a lot of sports specialists, like the head of European Judo, Sergei Soloveychik, who was very interested because it's the first time Sambo appeared in this format. People come to our stand to communicate. There's a lot of visitors, and most of them are aware of Sambo. There was a funny happening in Kazan at the feast right after the event, and one of our colleagues was asked, "Who are you really? What Samba?" Samba, yes, that's a good dance. There were times when Samba was confused with the Latin American dance. But today in Lenexpo, one feels that Samba is known and understood. A lot of constructive meetings happen, prospects for the future discussed. But I think our president, Vasily Shestakov, will tell you about it. Because a lot of work has been done by the Federation at this exhibition. The Sport Accord Convention has ended. It was important in the respect that the election of Sport Accord's president took place here. Also, the new International Judo Federation's president was elected, Marius Wieser. I hope it will give an impetus to all kinds of sports, and the combat sports in particular. As the president of FIAS, I hope Sambo especially will get an impulse to develop further. What meetings did you have? What did you discuss? Obviously, at such events, many different meetings are held. I was able to meet with the president of ANOC, Sheikh Al-Sabah. He is also the president of the Olympic Committee of Asia, and we agreed on that Samba will now be present at the All Asian Games. I met with the president of the European Olympic Committee, Patrick Hickey, and I received confirmation that Samba will also be considered for participation in European Games. In Baku, it will be for the first time admitted as a demonstration event. And of course the meetings were held with the presidents of the international federations to discuss our specific issues, how to participate in the sport accord events, how will the sport accord develop. Today's presentation by Marius Wieser was a very interesting one. It seems that our life in sport accord will be fresh, charged and useful for all the athletes. While the parties to the convention thanked the previous sport accord head, Mr. Verbruggen, whose term of office expired, we were able to get an exclusive interview with the current president of the IJF and sport accord as well, Mr. Wieser. The ideas that he offers are truly revolutionary. I made the presentation of my program. But it's not just my program. It's the program of my partners as well. And the main idea is to do a joint world championship. And I mean the Olympic sports as well as the non-Olympic ones. It should be held in one country. So that's our proposal to all the national and international federations and unions.
International Federation, National Federation, Continental Unions, and eventually to other partners too.
Thus, with the advent of the new sport accord leadership and such impressive ideas, the future is certain to be exciting. Natalia Yukhryeva, Vasily Vakhetov, specially for FIAS Sambo TV Journal. In the first decade of May, Casablanca became the capital of the African Samba Championship. For the Black Continent athletes, it is not just the biggest tournament, but first of all, the event providing an opportunity to identify the strongest wrestlers on the eve of the Universiade and World Championship in the fall, as well as the World Games of Martial Arts. On mats donated by the FIS, wrestlers from 15 countries competed. There were some newcomers among them, the wrestlers from Seychelles and Ghana. And, even more surprising, the rookies were able to win the Continental Championships medals. Ghana got bronze with the help of Arazaga Abogiri in the weight up to 62 kilograms. And the Seychelles team will leave Morocco with 2 bronze medals of Franciso Lambrosa and Nadi Cliff Jean, 74 kilograms. The African Championship, held in Casablanca, can be quite confidently called a success. Thanks to FIS assistance, we were able to delegate to the championship a large number of athletes. Many of them came for the first time, and the results are impressive. I'd like to give special mention to the Samba Federation of Ghana and Seychelles. At this Congress, they have been accepted into the ranks of the African Samba Confederation. This is official news, but talking about the sporting results, the teams of these countries in Casablanca made a big splash, winning bronze medals at their first ever continental championship. And I'm really happy. Basically, the home team dominated, which is natural since Samba is well known here. Moroccan wrestlers won 6 gold medals out of 7. One of the strongest African wrestlers is Mouran Ulhash, who was not entirely successful at the World Championship in Moscow. Here in Casablanca, he confirmed his leadership and in the finals of the up to 82 kilograms category confidently dealt with his compatriot Bankulush Obedin, a source of elation for his fans. Only Soufiane Houachi from Tunisia in the 90 kilograms category managed to break the hegemony of Moroccan wrestlers. With a final score of 4-1, mainly got through falls on his opponent's part, he celebrated victory of the Moroccan Razouk Khalid. Let's hear the champion. On the eve of the competitions, I dreamed of a medal, but not of this tournament, but the gold of the World Championship in St. Petersburg. And today I dedicate my victory first of all to Tunisia and, of course, to my mother. In preparation for the Universiade, FIAS experts, headed by the executive director Sergei Tabakov, held a workshop in Tokyo with the Japanese sambo wrestlers. Most surprising was the presence of the world's strongest judo team at the sambo event. Yes, it is Japan's national team, led by Olympic champion Kosei Inoue. Masters of the tatami, and among them the winners of the London Olympics, of the World Championships, leaders of the world ranking, this guy, experienced in judo, absorbed the information from sambo specialists with the utmost interest. Special attention was paid to the sambo know-how in ground fighting. An amazing thing happened. For the first time in many years, the barrier of estrangement between the sister sports of judo and sambo was overcome. And it was the first time judo and sambo wrestlers shook hands at such a high level. Today's seminar was held by the Russian coaches. This is very useful and valuable to us. Once again, I want to say that this meeting proves that there are no boundaries between the athletes, and the sport often helps to overcome the difficulties arising between countries. We have noted that sambo helps to win in judo too. The best Russian judo wrestlers got a lot of sambo moves, and the more often we meet like this, the better for all of us. Thanks again. This event turned out to be so multifaceted and diverse that a short news item can't do justice to it. In one of the future programs, we plan to do a big report on the results of the Tokyo workshop. In mid-May, we elected the new president of the Sambo Federation of Latvia, and one of the contenders was me, Всеволод Zeleny, and I won. The Federation's council was expanded to include 5 members. The new vice president is Biryukov, the former head of Federation. So we remain in tandem, and we will strive for the good of Latvian Sambo. Also, the 3 most active people who developed Sambo in Latvia, they were included in this new council. I think our work will become more effective and more exciting with the induction of new members. These changes in leadership will transform into changes in Sambo. At present, we are preparing the European Cadet Championship in September. This age category is the key one for us. We are starting a new cycle in the development of Sambo in Latvia, starting with the cadets, with the boys. We hope this new generation will in 4, 5, 6 or maybe 10 years compete at the highest level. We are laying the foundations that will give us good wrestlers. Maybe not in the near future, but in the future. This is the immediate goal of all that is happening now in our federation. These changes will prove to be a very big change. We invite you all to the European Cadet Championship in September in Riga. Do come. We will be waiting. On the eve of the European Championship, the Continental Federations Congress was held. The results of the past year were discussed, as well as the plans for the future. We got all the details from Sergei Eliseev, head of the European Samba. We have big plans for the future, which should be discussed with others. We have discussed some questions today, talked about the participation in the Universiade, in the Sport Accord World Games, which will take place in Russia this year, and the World Championship in St. Petersburg. And I think all the teams taking part will prove worthy of that. We have spent a lot of time discussing the issues connected not just with our calendar, but also with the plans of our federation's inclusion in the Olympic Committee. We discussed the current problems of national federations in respect of them getting recognition of their respective Olympic committees. This is an extremely important thing today. We certainly talked about the budget and about FIAS helping others. Today we have told the heads of national federations that FIAS Executive Committee approved the request for 34 mats for our European Federation, plus 900 Samba uniforms. It's a very big help. Naturally, we decided upon financial help also. Each sportsman participating in the World Cup in Greece and in the World Championship in St. Petersburg will do so at the FIAS expense. So, the national federations will get major support from the FIAS. I personally consider it a very positive fact. Speaking geographically, we see that Italy, Serbia, France, Spain will hold Samba championships, and recently there was one held in Cyprus. It was the first ever European Cadet Championship, a lot of positive information. But obviously, the negative things were also discussed. The former members of FIAS tried to undermine our Samba community and to make sure Samba wrestling won't be part of the international Olympic movement. I consider this as a result of personal ambitions working against Samba as a sport. We have discussed these questions at the Congress, and there was a unanimous decision to support the present policy of FIAS and its president, Vasily Shostakov, for the incorporation of Samba in the international Olympic movement and its development as the sport for young people. And I hope the European Federation will become an example for many continental federations in discussing the candidates nominated by national federations for the president of the major Samba federation. We have heard all the opinions, and there's not the slightest doubt that Shostakov is the best candidate. For the first time in history of Cuban sports, the National Samba Championship was held in Havana. This video was sent to us by the president of Pan American Samba Federation, Mr. Juan Pablo Melo, who not only attended the tournament, but actively contributed to its organization. Today, Cuban Samba is making its first steps. Let's hope that soon we will see the wrestlers from the Island of Freedom at the major international tournaments, and maybe at the next World Championship. Considering the great traditions of the Cuban athletes in combat sports and the Olympic Games, we can hope that with the FIAS support they will show some results in the near future. In the next issue of the official FIAS TV channel, we'll tell you about the two continental championships, the Pan American and the Asian one, as well as the major tournament of the Russian President's Samba Cup that will begin in Moscow in early June. See you, my friends, and remember, if you are a Samba wrestler, never give up.